Hey, what's up guys, Ollie here. So I have the iPhone XS Max and the iPhone XS here. I wanted to do a sort of comparison video, tell you sort of the differences, which one maybe you should go for, which one might be more suitable for you. So yeah, let's get right into it. So we'll start off with the design. The design is exactly the same across both devices. The only difference is, of course, that there is a bigger shell to fit that bigger screen. The thickness is exactly the same. The only difference is the height and the width of the phone. The display on the iPhone XS is a 5.8 inch display, and the display on the iPhone XS Max is a 6.5 inch display, which is of course quite a large difference. You know, the iPhone XS Max is pretty much nearly on tablet sort of territory. Both phones use OLED screens, which is pretty much the best in the business. You know, you get amazing blacks, you get amazing whites, and you get very rich colors. So yeah, the screen will look exactly the same across both devices. The resolutions on both of the devices are a little bit different. Of course, because the iPhone XS Max has a larger display, it has more pixels. The iPhone XS has a display of 2436 by 1125. And the iPhone XS Max has a 2688 by 1242. So yeah, just a little bit of a resolution difference, but the actual pixels per inch is exactly the same. Both of the phones use the same A12 chip, which makes it super snappy, super quick. So there aren't going to be any performance differences between both the devices. You're basically going to get the same performance across both. Both phones have the dual 12 megapixel cameras, which is great because previously that wasn't actually the case. You know, to get the dual camera, to get portrait mode and things like that, you had to go with the Plus models, but it's good to see that both phones now have the same cameras. They both also record 4K up to 60 frames per second, and they also record 1080p up to 120 frames per second. So you get great slow-mo and you get great 4K footage as well. Both also have Face ID, and I've noticed with this generation of phones that Face ID is so much quicker. It's so much better than the previous gen, which is good to see. When it comes to batteries, the iPhone XS Max does have a bigger battery, so it will give you better battery life. The iPhone XS has a 2659 mAh battery, and the iPhone XS Max has a 3179 mAh battery. So there is a good amount of difference there, and with that you do get better battery life on the XS Max. So when it really comes down to it, there are only three differentiating factors between the devices: the display, the battery, and the price. With the iPhone XS Max, you do get the larger display, which means more screen estate, which is great for media consumption, such as photos and videos and things like that. However, you do obviously have to make the sacrifice of getting a bigger phone, getting something which is much larger. You know, personally for me, I find it a bit too big, so I prefer the iPhone XS. However, if you're someone who doesn't mind a much larger phone, then yeah, the iPhone XS Max might be a good choice for you. The battery life on the iPhone XS Max is better, so if you're someone who's a power user, who uses their phone a lot throughout the day and doesn't have access to power all the time, then the iPhone XS Max is probably a better choice for you. Finally, the price. The XS and the XS Max do differ in price by $100, by £100. I'd say it's worth the higher price tag if you're looking for a larger display and better battery life. Other than that, there really isn't anything else separating these two devices. Me personally, I'll be going with the iPhone XS, mainly because I don't really like big phones. I actually prefer smaller phones, and the battery life isn't too much of a concern for me. I found the iPhone XS to last me through a day anyway, and I also get to work either from home or at the office, so I always have access to power, whether it be an outlet or whether it be my MacBook, so I'm not too worried about battery life. So yeah, the iPhone XS is the one I'm going to be choosing. However, if you need that larger display, if you need that better battery life, and you're willing to spend $100, £100 extra to get that, then yeah, it's probably the one for you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe because I will have iPhone XS review and the Apple Watch Series 4 review. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and thanks for watching.